webinar as well and present. So hopefully everyone can see my screen. And let's see, we have people already joining. Welcome everyone. We see Ellen, Joseph, Megan, Dr. Rios. Thank you for joining. We're so glad that you guys are giving us a little bit of your time on this Thursday afternoon to go over some of the new features that we have on Bloomz. Hopefully other folks are joining us here in Facebook Live as we are streaming probably our fourth webinar here in Facebook Live. So welcome everyone. So let's kick things off as people continue to join. Again, thank you everyone for joining and for giving us a little bit of your time. My name is Horacio Ochoa. I am the head of marketing and growth here at Bloomz, and I am excited to be here for another of our webinars in this series going into back to school. We are joined here by Chakrapani Appalabatula. He is the CEO of Bloomz, and also by Jude Miqueli. She is an educational technologist and teacher in the Seattle Public Schools. So welcome, guys. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And so a couple of things before we start things off. Just wanted to say again, this is part of a series in webinars that we started this year, going into the new school year. Keep an eye on our blog and our social media. We continue to share these webinars, and we do Facebook Live as well. So keep an eye on those. At Bloomz app, you can always find those. And if you are interested in seeing any of our past webinars, we have them in our blog. We have different things. We've shown some of the new features coming in the new school year, some of what you'll see today as well. And other things that we've put together to help school administrators and teachers really get off to a good start in this new school year. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them here through the Zoom Q&A, and we'll be happy to answer them as we go through the webinar. Also, if social media is your thing and you like Twitter or Facebook, you can always tag us at Bloomz app. We're using this hashtag better than ever this year because really Bloomz, we have made so many improvements in the app and adding so many new features that really this year Bloomz is better than ever, and you'll see some of that today. So again, I'm joined here by Chax and Jude, and they will help me do some of this demo. So Jude, if you want to share your screen and get us started with this.
Yeah, thank you, Horacio. So like you said, I'm also a teacher, and I'm just starting to use this tool as well, you know, like many of you out there. So Chax is gonna help me, you know, guide me along as I'm learning as well.
And to give a little more context, well, Jude shares her screen. We're going to be looking at a couple of features today. The first one is the new activities feature. We just launched activities this Tuesday, and we're already seeing lots of users adding content. Some of that Jude will share with us, and then Chax is going to walk us through the health checks feature, which is we're really excited about it. It's launching, I believe, tomorrow, and we're really excited about it. So kick it off, Jude.
Yeah. So right here in my Bloomz classroom, I first clicked at the top here where it says library, and there's a little new notification there. That's the new activities. And when you first come to this place, you'll see there's 3 things to click: community, school and district, and my library. So the community is the greater Bloomz community of teachers. Anyone who's sharing to the Bloomz community, their lessons will come up here. So we have a few populating now, and you can sort them by grades that you'd like to look at and subjects. So if I just wanted to see pre-K today, we've got 2 up there happening, and if I wanted to sort by subject, I can choose any of the subjects here. If I'm looking for something specific, that could be my way to find it. And these are all going to be sorted into collections as the tool is used more. You'll start to see which teachers have the most lessons on certain subjects, and they'll be sort of collated into, hey, this is, here are some lessons for kindergarten you might want to check out. Am I explaining that right, Chucks?
Yes, yes. So I think we're just getting started with this. So as more and more content starts manifesting here, we are going to give different ways to slice and dice all that content that is going to be there, so that it's easy to find, it's easy to personalize to your particular needs. So yeah, definitely.
Great. So then the school and district tab, that would be just your school right here. I'm in the Bloomz demo mode, so my school is Bloomz demo, but if your whole school is on Bloomz, then you'll see who in your school has shared lessons, so that you can share lessons with your grade level team or cross grade level bands. And this part, My Library, that would be just your lessons or activities you've created. And it's really cool because you can sort them into subjects, right? The first folder is all the media you've added. And then you can start to make your folders so that you have your subjects going there.
And also just want to add that when you find a community, an activity in the community that you like, it also adds to your library, so that now you can start to, kind of pick from the library, community library, anything, and then add to my library, add to my collection. Yes.
Yes, that's great. That is super helpful for teachers to be able to share lessons and add to each other's library. I love that. All right, so should I kind of share how to go and create an activity then?
Yes.
Okay, so going to click activity here and then label it. Count to, I'm just kind of making up a kindergarten math lesson right now, count to 15 practice. I'll say this is, a math fluency activity. And then I can go ahead and select math. I can decide if I want to share this with the whole Bloomz community or not. It's up to me. Here we have different options. I can record myself because it is kindergarten. I do want to give a recording, say, hey everyone, today in math, you're going to count the potatoes. Please count them and write an equation. Have fun counting. Something like that. And then that will pop up. Hey everyone, today kind of sounded like a little bit of a weird lag there, but let's give it a minute. Hey everyone, today in math, you're going to count the potatoes. All right. I can also add my directions here.
And you can also copy paste emojis from other places if you create it somewhere, so you can also do that too. So particularly,
emojis in the student instructions?
Yeah, if you already have somewhere else in Word document or something, like you put together something, you can then simply pull that here and then paste it here.
Awesome. And I bet easy to do on your phone keyboard?
Yes.
Yeah. So then we also have a space to add notes to myself, pictures, audio, and then parent instructions. Here's a place where the template for students. So I can upload a photo here.
Yeah, since we last showed this one, this tool has gone through a lot of enhancements, and you will see that the tool is really world-class in terms of all the capabilities. And as Jude uses it, you will see um, it's fluent, easy to use, and easy to navigate around. You know, pull content from other different sources. App smashing is a big thing, so you can pull content from different other places and paste it here. She will also show some other activities where she can pull from PDFs. And so, yeah, go ahead, Jude.
Yeah, I'll just kind of play around on here to show you some of the features. If you want to leave this available for the students to move, you can. If you want to lock it in place as a template, you can do that. You know, if I wanted to give them a space to write their equations, I can give a little more directions here. Kind of position it or style it. You know, then I can choose to lock that if I'd like. I can make this a link. If I need to duplicate it, I can do that. There are some fun tools in here. We have shapes. Put some shapes in there. If I want to, I have some arrows. And Jacques was teaching me how to bend the arrows earlier. Let's see, it was like tap one place, then tap another place. Kind of decide where you want your arrows to go. So lots of options here as far as making the templates for students. And we can upload other things besides photos. There's videos and PDFs. If I need to make multiple pages, down here you can add pages if it's an assignment with different pages, which is great. And so I'll just show an example of uploading a PDF, multiple pages PDF. Let's see. So for example, this was my summer plan for students, and it has multiple pages, so it's something I can share and add to it within this tool as well.
Yeah, let's say on this page, you don't want the tools to disturb the view, so you can just show the button that can hide the tools.
Mm-hmm. Right up top with this little camera or computer. Lots of options for drawing, erasing, text. Was there anything else I missed here, Jacques?
And then background, if you want to apply different color backgrounds.
Oh yeah. Make it more engaging. So once you've got your template, whatever you want them to do, you can just hit create. You can choose where you'd like to save it in your collection. You can create a new collection or select an old one.
And then as soon as this is done, you know, it actually, depending on the activity, whether you chose to be shared or not, then it goes through an approval on the Bloomz side. And then, yeah, so you have the option to share it. And then once we approve it, then it becomes available to everybody else.
Yeah, and you have some options there if you want to edit it, create from this activity, where if you need to delete it. So you can always go back and kind of change things you've done. There are some other examples of assignments I created as a template to
Yeah, this is just a small preview, but the actual template will be full. So
Right.
if you want to show the full template again, you can go into the edit mode and then show the full template.
All right. Did you mean I didn't quite catch you on that one. What were you saying there?
No, when you showed the preview, it just showed a kind of a simple image version of it.
Okay.
But when the students are assigned, that will start an actual, very similar to the tool that you are using to create the
Right.
they will use a similar tool to. So I can't wait for that second phase of this release to be done. We're working hard to get that in place by end of next week. So hopefully, because I think the heavy lifting of this feature is done in terms of, we had to build this whole new tool from scratch, and then we really had to make sure that it is giving all the tools to make that. Right now it's remote communication, so you want to be able to effectively communicate the activity that you're giving, and also make sure that the students, it works on all the devices. It will work on Chromebooks, it works on iPads, and it works on every one of those devices. And then we want to make sure that this ability to create is put in place so that you can start planning for the next few weeks to months in advance. And then once the tools come in, I'm excited about two things. One is we're going to be releasing not only what we call the assignments, where you can give offline for students assigned to a set of students or the entire class or only specific student. You can give them the task and then they can do it offline. Or you can also, if you're doing a live session and you want to collaborate with them, we also are going to introduce what we call a live assignment mode, live assignment, which means now all the kids can jump onto the same session at the same time, and you can let them to start, let's say, count the number of potatoes, and every kid can start drawing what the count that they have done. And you will see actually everybody's mouse, their name. So it's actually something very cool. So I think it will enable a whole new dimension, particularly for the remote learning. So we can't wait for that to also be released.
Great. And we have a couple of, can you hear me, Chax?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. We had a couple of questions here. You answered the first one, but I'll just repeat it in case somebody didn't hear them. It's about the next phase. So when will users be able to assign activities to students? And you mentioned that it's in a week's, it's a week away from that, correct?
Yes, yes.
Great. I don't know if this is possible, Chax. You're going to show us the health checks demo, but if you could show what the experience is from the assignments perspective, what the view is from the students and the parents' perspective. Is that something that you can show us?
Only in the PowerPoint flow I can show you a little bit, and then when we are ready to demonstrate, we can show it in actual experience. But I can show you from the mobile perspective how the students will start seeing it. Do we want to show that?
If you have it, absolutely, and if not, we can certainly follow up with the attendees. This is an anonymous attendee, so I can't direct answer them, but absolutely, we can follow up with that. Let's see. Do you want to?
I can show that to cover that, and then I think there was another question about Google Classroom, Boom Cards, and other programs, file types. Yeah, and I think we forgot to show you, but you can actually add links. You can add links to other Google resources, what documents and so on. You can obviously embed, just like PDFs, you can pull in questions, documents, and images from other places. So yeah, I think that's part of the app smashing I was talking about. Yeah, you should be able to pull in and bring the other resources as well.
Great. So if you want, do you want to share your screen then?
Yes, let me switch to my experience here. So this is going to be the student experience. I have the mobile just to kind of show you the mobile, but this works again on all the devices. As you know, when the students come in, just like the rest of the app, now they will see a new tab that's so that it separates from the rest of the field. And even the parents will see this. Of course, the parents will not be able to submit the assignment, but they will be able to see the assignments for all their children. So that way they are in the loop. They know what to expect and where to support their kids. So it really creates that one place and one visibility. And this is one of the things that, again, we believe Bloomz has always been known is to drive that higher parental engagement, knowing what my child is going to go through. Because in other apps like Google Classroom and so on, I have no visibility unless I proactively go into that app and so on. Whereas in this app, I already know I'm in connection with the teachers. So when some assignment is done, then it automatically shows up here, pops up here. I know that just that visibility is great. And then we already know that we have seen the activities where you can have the parent instructions. So as a parent, when I view it, I will see the parent instructions. There is also translation capability there. So again, it makes that whole parental engagement, irrespective of the language barriers, really, come together in a seamless way. And so here the student can, will see the activity right here. They can play the instructions. If they want to add a response right there, they will see all the rich tools that they can use to communicate. Then when they click on the drawing, that's when it goes to the similar tool that just now Jude has shown you. This is a little earlier mock, but again, you see the similar set of capabilities show up, multiple tabs. I can create multiple things. I can annotate here. I can, zoom in and so on. So the same tools that Jude has already shown will be available to your students. And depending on the template, some templates have some fixed elements, so I cannot move it. But whereas maybe certain elements are fixed, certain elements are something that I can move around, then I can do that. So maybe the teacher already puts organic and non-organic things as the two categories, and then she puts a bunch of images. Now it's the responsibility of the child to move the organic things to one bucket and then other non-organic things to other bucket. So she will be, he or she will be able to move those things. So again, and then they can add voice to it. So there is a voice aspect. So they can record the audio as they're doing it. So it captures as a video. They can add links. So again, all the rich tools that you have already seen a little bit that Jude has shown are going to be made available to the students in this mode. Hopefully that explains the student experience. Are there any follow-on questions there?
No, I think we don't have any questions yet.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we can then move ahead with the demo of the health checks.
Yes. So I'm going to switch to my browser here. This is we're pretty much wrapped up this one. We just wanted to make sure that we're doing the final setup for, what we call the quality assurance process. So we're going through that, but it's looking pretty good. So we should be making it available hopefully by tomorrow if the sign off happens. And so right now I'm just going to demonstrate this for this kind of the sample school. I don't have a lot of content here, but because this is just in a dev environment. But you can enable this at the entire school level. So if you go into the settings, edit settings, there is a health check. You can enable this or disable this. So if for some reason you don't want to make this available for your school, you can disable this for those premium schools. But assuming that we enable that, now in the menu where you have all the rest of the tools, now you also have the health check as a request health check as an option. Now it's also going to be made available at the various classrooms depending on where you enable it, so that the teachers can also enable, I think in this case we have not enabled that for the classrooms, but you can enable that for the classrooms as well. So you go in here, request health check. So it's a 3 simple wizard-like steps. So first, are you doing one time? Are you doing recurring? So this way you don't have to keep on going and sending this request every time. But again, you may not want to do this every day, but maybe you want to do this once a week, or if it is required every day, then you put it as every day. You say repeat weekly, Monday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, every week. And then it ends either never or maybe on a particular date. So you have that whole frequency. So you just set up the frequency in terms of how often you want this to be reminding to the the audience that you're sending. You can send this to just the staff. You can send this to all the parents so that they can collect for their kids. So the next step would be recipients. So again, you can send it to the entire school. You can send it on a class by class basis. You can send it to specific groups. So you can do that whatever way you would like to do that. And if you send it also, you can target this communication to just the parents, just the staff. So you can do that. Click on next, then you can customize the message. You are sending it on your own signature. You can send it on behalf of the school. And now what happens at that particular time based on the schedule that we have already set up, then it sends them a notification to the parents on their mobile, on their email. So it sends them wherever they are, and then it launches them directly into a form that will look, I'm going to get out of this. And what they will see on the parent side is a notification will come in. I don't have an example of that, but a notification will show up here saying that, a health check needed for today. And then they will be able to launch from there. And when they launch from it, it will be very similar to, let's say, if I go into a health and then I see a particular student. So in this case, the parent might come in here and they will see right here and they will get into this mode, this screen. So if I'm the parent, it picks my, it gives me the option to pick my child, and then I pick the child, and then I come in here. It's very simply, if I don't have any symptoms for my child, I can simply select no symptoms, and then go ahead and save it. If on the other hand, if I start seeing some symptoms, I can, select whatever the thing. This form, as I said, is a CDC compliant approved form. So these questions are exactly mapped to what CDC recommends as the self-help check. And you can then simply save it. So when you save it, you can see that, there is a checkpoint, and imagine, like, again, later, maybe one of the staff members takes the similar data and then picks that there is probably some other symptom also I got added. So now you can see there is also timestamp and the person who took this note. So one could be a parent, one could be a teacher in the classroom, another one maybe during the afternoon could be somebody at the field. So you can take multiple timestamps as well. So all of this information is also going to be maintained on a day-to-day basis historically. And that way you can get this information on a per student basis. What we don't have right now, but next week we'll be releasing in the phase 2 is that kind of the school-wide report that you can just download based on timestamp, and you can window and so on. But as you can see here, as soon as I filled in, I come to this page. It tells me that today Anna filled in, or Anna's record has been filled in. There's also an indication, that there is it is somewhat red. So that means there is something that requires attention. As soon as I went in, opened that one, I can see the data. Similarly, I can also see who all have not filled in. So if I've sent the request and somebody has not filled in, I have an opportunity to quickly maybe make sure that those people's health check is done as soon as they come to the building, or maybe at this bus route. So even the bus route person can have access to this information. I hope that makes sense. Health check, no symptoms, and save. Yeah.
So Chuck, we have a question here from the audience. The question is, can you edit the questions if they have different, like they are pointing to maybe you have different measurements of temperature that you want to change? Is that customizable?
Yeah, so the questions in the phase 2, they will be customizable. So you will be able to go edit them from your settings of the school page. You will be able to edit the questions.
And phase 2 for health checks is when?
This is also targeted end of next week. Hopefully we'll be able to, if not, it will be soon after. But right now the team parallelly is working on the assignments phase 2, PBIs phase 2, and the health checks. So yeah.
Great. Any other questions here in the audience? Something about, okay, so I have another question here from Emily. I heard you say something about turning this health check feature on for the classes. We're starting on Monday and wanting to turn it on. Where can I find that? So this feature is not yet live, Emily, but it's going live tomorrow. So by tomorrow, you will be able to find it as Chuck was showing. Do you want to maybe repeat, Chuck, where you find the feature?
Yeah, so you go into this edit class settings, you will see edit settings, and then you will see the health check option.
Great. All right. Any other questions from the audience? No? Doesn't sound like. Anything else, Chuck, that you want to share with us at this point?
No, and then we, as the third feature, which is that PBIS, which we have demonstrated last time, that also will be phase one of that kind of the enterprise or the school-wide ability to customize the behaviors. So that's also going to be released along with the health checks tomorrow. So you can go in behavior, customize at the school-wide awards, school-wide locations, and then kind of go to the permissions, and you can control whether the teachers can modify the awards or not, and can the teachers take data for student behavior, data for all the students across the school. So you have some of these flags which we demonstrated last time, so they will be made available as well, so that now if you go into a classroom, you can go to the behavior, you have this kind of the charts, and it give you these flags, and you can basically customize these things and then capture these things, including the flags.
Great. So this will be also available next week, end of next week, with along with the second phase of the activities and the assignments, as well as the health checks, second phase for the health checks.
So the first phase of whatever is there is going to be released tomorrow along with the health checks. And there is a phase 2 of this, which is all the reporting at the school level and some automation of those flags. So that's, and the health checks and the assignments too, those are the phase 2 parts that we're targeting for end of next week.
Perfect. Let's see. Question, will it require an app update?
Yeah, again, we will do a forced update once we know for sure we're fully stable. We will do a forced update for the end users. That means if they're using an older version of the app, then they will be asked to upgrade to a newer version of the app. But typically the way we have done is we first release this on the web, and it takes a couple of days for the apps to be kind of fully solidified and approved by the app stores and play stores. So you can anticipate that if we release something, let's say on Monday for the web, it could take up to Wednesday or maybe latest Thursday for the apps to have the similar functionality. So yeah, we do anticipate a couple of days of delays between the web and the mobile apps. But when the mobile apps are fully ready and then we know for sure they're fully functional, we then force update so that the users, particularly for something like this, they would need that so that they can jump in and start capturing the data.
And to reinforce that, so the activities feature, which is already available on your web browser, we are just waiting for the approval on the App Store and the Google Play Store to release that update. So it's already out there in your web browser, and it's just a matter of when the apps are approved, then you will have it in your mobile device. So that's kind of the difference. So we're in Thursday, and we're just waiting for those approvals.
Correct.
And while we wait, it's a good idea to start just creating those activities and kind of develop your collection. I know it's hard to be patient, and we're all ready to, assign them. But while we wait, I definitely think a good idea would be to just kind of refine those skills in creating engaging activities.
Absolutely, that's a great point, Jude, because even though the app is, as you saw, very easy to use, very intuitive, it it always takes just a few minutes to adjust. And so if you can start working on those activities and creating them in advance, so next week when you are ready to push them out to your students, you have them already ready and they're already in your library that you can send them out to your classroom. So definitely a good idea to start preparing for that. I have another question here, Chax. In the health screening feature, will it track this information? And if so, I didn't hear you talk about how to access that information.
Which information?
So the health screening, can you show us again where to find the reports?
Oh, so it will, so the reports, this is where we will start showing, just even for the school, we will show, that's the piece that phase 2, but we will have the engagement report, then behavior report, and then health report, so that the health report will show up and then you can download as a PDF and so on. Right now, we do have, let's say, a simple health tab that shows for the day, who filled and who did not fill. This always shows for the current day.
And it will show, so that little face on the right is, it's red right now because it was reported that Anna had presented symptoms. Right. And when someone doesn't present any symptoms and they mark it as that, they will show a green face, correct?
Yes, that's right.
So you will be able to see in this health report your roster on that same day, what is the different reports or the different checks that you got for the day. You will be able to see who filled the check, who didn't, and that little phase will tell you who did or didn't present any symptoms on that day.
Correct.
And all of this, again, this is going to be available tomorrow, so keep an eye on that. We'll communicate this on social media, on our blog. We'll send an email as well. So regular communications, as you've probably seen for activities. There's another question here. If I wanted to see a student's history of the health checks, is that going to be contained in the PDF?
Yeah, so once you go in here, you can, view this information. You can always print this. So if I were to, can this information be downloaded as a PDF? So in the actual reports view, we will give you the ability to filter for the entire school by class, by student, and then download it as a CSV or a PDF. So here, I'm not sure that we are providing at the individual student page, but it does make sense to potentially add that here.
Great. We'll see if there's any other, there are any other questions here from the audience. If not, we're preparing to wrap this up. So I do want to thank everyone who joined here on the Zoom webinar or via Facebook Live. We really appreciate your time. We know that teachers are getting ready to start the new school year, so we certainly appreciate you taking a little time of your day to see this demo. If you have any questions, feel free to send us a question to support@bloomz.com. We're always happy to help with any questions you may have. Again, we have these webinars recorded in our blog, so you can always go back to our blog and see them on our YouTube channel as well. So if you search for Bloomz app on YouTube, you'll find our channel and you can see all the webinars that we've done and the tutorials. We have a lot of video tutorials on our YouTube channel. So if you have any questions about how you do something, you can always go there and find the answers. If you are an administrator and you're thinking that this might be a good idea for your school, we're always happy to have that conversation and get you set up on your school. So you can always email us at sales@bloomz.com and we will schedule a meeting to walk you through the different features and give you the right pricing for your school. So with that and no other questions here, Chax and Jude, I want to thank you for being here and doing the great demo you did for us. And again, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Bloomz app. And thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.